Brogan's Brown Bag Blues. Boston, 1987. The kind of autumn where the leaves turned colors faster than politicians changed their stories, and every brown paper bag on Tremont Street might be carrying either a sandwich or someone's future. James Brogan, ex-Boston PD detective turned private eye, sat behind his desk with a lukewarm Narragansett and a fresh pack of Camels, staring at the man across from him. The client's name was Harold Harry Hargrove, Beacon Hill money, three-piece suits, and the kind of weak chin that made you wonder how he ever closed a deal without his lawyer doing all the talking. "Brogan, I want pictures," Harry said, sliding an envelope across the desk. "My wife, Cynthia, she's been acting strange. Late nights, new lingerie, perfume that costs more than my golf clubs. I think she's messing around." Brogan lit a Camel and exhaled like he was blowing out birthday candles on a cake made of bad decisions. "Mr. Hargrove, in my line of work, messing around is the national sport. You sure you want the photos? Once they're developed, there's no putting the genie back in the bottle or the wife back in the marriage." Harry nodded like a man who'd already rehearsed this in the mirror. "Just get me the evidence. I'll make it worth your while." Brogan took the envelope. "Worth my while usually means cash, not promises, and not brown bags full of lettuce." Harry blinked. "Lettuce?" "Money, pal. A bag full of lettuce for a fist full of cash. Old cop slang. You'd be surprised how many city contracts get rubber-stamped with a little extra green in a paper sack." Harry left. Brogan watched him go, then checked the photo of Cynthia Hargrove. She was a looker, legs for days, eyes that could melt ice, and a smile that said she knew exactly how much trouble she was worth. The next 3 nights were classic Brogan stakeout: cold coffee, warmer beer, and a Nikon with a telephoto lens that had seen more adultery than a priest in confession. He followed Cynthia from their Back Bay townhouse to a nondescript warehouse in Southie. The sign outside read, "Club Velvet members only." Brogan raised an eyebrow. "Velvet, cute. Sounds like a place where the only thing getting stripped is the paint off the walls." He slipped the doorman a 20 and a story about being a talent scout for a new show in Vegas. Inside, the lights were low, the music was loud, and the stage was occupied by a woman in a sequined G-string doing things to a pole that would make a fireman blush. It was Cynthia Hargrove, Mrs. Beacon Hill herself, working the midnight shift under the stage name Silk. Brogan got the shots, clear, damning, and hilarious. But something felt off. The club was owned by none other than Vinny, the Weasel, Capello, the same low-level mob guy who'd been greasing palms on city construction contracts for years. Brogan had tangled with Vinny before, back when he still wore a badge, and still believed the department wasn't completely rotten. The next morning, Cynthia walked into Brogan's office unannounced. She was wearing sunglasses and a fur coat that probably cost more than his car. "You've been following me," she said, voice like honey over broken glass. "I know who you are, Brogan, ex-cop. Quit the force because you couldn't stand the smell of dirty badges. Vietnam vet. Tough guy with a soft spot for the truth. Tommy Santoro told me about you before he disappeared." Brogan poured her a drink. "Tommy was a friend. He also told me never to trust anyone who smiles like you do. What's your angle, Silk?" She dropped the act. "Harry, been skimming money from city contracts, rubber stamping permits for Vinny's crew so they can build condos on land that's supposed to be protected. Brown bags full of cash left in his golf bag every Friday. I started dancing at the club to get close to Vinny's operation and to get proof. Harry thinks I'm cheating. I'm actually trying to bury him." Brogan laughed once, short and sharp. "Lady, that's the best 'my husband's the crook, not me' story I've heard since Nixon said, 'I am not a crook.'" She slid a cassette tape across the desk. "Listen to this. Harry and Vinny talking about the next payoff. If you help me, the divorce settlement will be very generous. And you get to take down the same corrupt bastards you walked away from in '76. Brogan played the tape. Harry's voice was unmistakable, promising to rubber stamp 3 more permits in exchange for 2 brown paper bags stuffed with lettuce. Vinny laughed about how easy it was to buy a city official these days. Brogan stared at the tape like it was a live grenade. You know what this means, right? Once I turn this over, Harry goes down, Vinny comes after both of us, and your little stripper side hustle becomes public record. Cynthia smiled. I'm counting on it. Let the whole city see what a joke our marriage was. I'm done pretending. 2 nights later, Brogan met Vinny at the docks, same place he'd photographed the heroin shipment the year before. He handed over copies of the photos of Cynthia dancing and the tape of Harry's bribe. Vinny's face went the color of wee-cold clam chowder. You got some nerve, Brogan. Brogan shrugged. Nerve is all I got left. Harry's going down for corruption. You're going down for running the club and the payoffs. And me? I'm just the guy who took the pictures, again. Vinny reached for his gun. Brogan was faster. 1 punch, 1 twist, and the weasel was on the ground seeing stars. Tell Harry his wife says hello, Brogan said, lighting a fresh Camel. And tell him next time he wants to brown bag it, maybe try a briefcase. Paper bags are so 1975. The divorce went through. Cynthia got the house, the cars, and enough settlement money to open her own club, this time on the right side of the law. Harry got indicted, Vinny got a long vacation upstate, and Brogan got a nice fat check plus a new scar on his knuckles. He sat in his office the next night, rain tapping the window like an old friend who'd had one too many. He looked at the old photo of him and Tommy again. Another day, another adultery, he said to the empty room. But this time the wife was the one with the better act. He raised his glass. Here, to brown bags, rubber stamps, and the honest ones who still know the difference between right and wrong, even when it costs them everything. Outside, the city lights flickered like they were laughing at the whole damn mess. Some cases you solve. Some cases solve you. And every once in a while, you get to watch the bad guys strip down to nothing but their own bad choices.